Alright guys, welcome back for some more Detention. We're up to chapter 2 now, and in the previous chapter we left off here. We woke up in front of... This actually looks like the hall, you know, or the auditorium. This looks like the front of the stage here, but it's not. Okay, we're actually outside. Now, before we get into playing, I just want to talk about this chapter for a little bit. So, this chapter is basically... the pinnacle of horror in this game. Everything else in this game is just more like gruesome storytelling. The rest of it in chapter 1 and 2 is horror. And this one is where it peaks and then it falls off. But then it makes up for it in brilliant storytelling. Okay? So, from this chapter on, we don't face the Lingered anymore. Remember, we encountered them in the previous chapter. Now in this chapter we face the enemies called the Lantern Spectres. Now the Lantern Spectres are very cool designed enemies. There we go, there's the word. Okay. And yeah, not much else to say about the Lantern Spectres. They're they're pretty creepy, and I do like their concept, but other than that, not much else to them. They're pretty much no stress, really. I'd say they're easier to get past than the Lingered, because they only move in one direction. The Lingered would like move back and forth between different positions. So that's why I'd say that the Lingered are more difficult to take care of than, or more difficult to avoid and get past than the Lantern Spectres. Okay? Anyway, let's carry on here. A whole bunch of paper airplanes on the floor. This is symbolic to the end of the game, by the way, so if you're wondering why there are paper planes here, we'll figure out, we will come to find out at the end of the game why they are here. I don't think there's anything here. The field's collapsed here. Everything is flooded into a river of crimson mud. I need to slow down. I actually think that the rain that's falling from the sky is actually like just paper airplanes. I think that's what it is. That's what they are. There doesn't seem to be an end. Seems like it. Okay. The command post. So this is the middle of the field. So we're outside the school now. It's all old and battered. Okay, I'm guessing this is outside the school building. Like I said, it's very strangely laid out. There's a flagpole here. Our flagpole stand. The ropes keep knocking against the poles. Or knocking on the poles, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so this is the outside of the school building. Let's head inside. Okay. Now, in terms of puzzles and stuff, this game can get a bit this chapter can get a bit confusing, especially like with regards to where to go. But other than that, I'd say it's pretty easy. The door is completely blocked. This should be the puppetry club's workshop. Okay. There's a note over here, our first note for the chapter. There's a note on the cart. Illustration Lantern Spectre. An illustration of the Lantern Spectre, and Spectre is spelled wrong. If you chance upon a lantern spirit, avert your gaze and stand unmoving. When it comes near, slow your breath and do not panic, and it will keep on moving. So, basically do what this kid is doing, okay? When it comes near you, keep looking away and hold your breath. There's a trick to doing it, and I'll show you guys how to get past it with no stress. But that's going to be a bit later on. I want to see... Puppet theater on a hand-drawn cart. During summer break, the boys in class would use this as their battle tank. Unfortunately, they quickly broke the wheels. As boys tend to do, they like breaking things. I want to examine this. I don't know what this is. There's a note on the desk. Hey by Wu Chang. Black and white impermanence. According to the legends, they are two ancient officials. During a routine inspection, misfortune befell them and they perished trying to protect one another. The Lord of the Dead, seeing their loyalty, appointed them the duty of messengers of death. It was then that people who died would see them arrive to claim their souls. So it's pretty cool. And by the way, Hey Bai means black and white. Okay, Hey means black, Bai means white. Okay, I'm not sure what Wu Chang means, or Wu Chang, or how you pronounce this. But I know that Hey Bai is black and white. Also, keep note of what they're holding. Okay, what they're holding and their designs. So, long tongue fan, long beard token. Keep that in mind. There's an alt over here, so let's go ahead and save the game. Here we go. Now, you know, at the end of this corridor here, we'll come into this door here. We can't do anything with this door just yet. Two figures are carved on the door. These are supposed to be guardians, but they look more like the Heibai Wu Chang. The hands look like they should be holding something. What could they be missing? And like I said, they'll be missing their respective things they're holding in this illustration right here. So we can't come here right now. We will come back here a bit later on. It's, you know, it's sort of a pity that I can't examine more of this stuff. Looks pretty interesting. Okay, but for now, we'll just go to the left. I don't think there's anything else to examine over here. Okay. So, this room here, don't think there's anything we can do in this room just yet. These puppets are pretty creepy, by the way. A large mass of puppets hanging from the ceiling. Yes. Oh yeah, and you'll see a lot of this, like, paper on the floor here. A brick furnace. I remember back then, Mom said she burned spirit money to bless our health and good fortune. I always thought of it as closer to dealing with the devil. Okay, so that's exactly what this stuff on the floor here is. It's spirit money. So we need to find spirit money so we can throw it into this furnace over here. Again, it's not something we can do just yet, so we'll come back to this place a little bit later on. Oh yeah, and this chapter here has some of the best puzzles in the game. Although, you know, chapter 1 still has my favorite puzzle. But chapter 2 here has a very good puzzle as well. It's my second favorite one. The door is locked from the other side. So this here, yeah, this should lead to the atrium. So this is outside, okay? This will lead us outside. We will be able to come through this door as like a sort of return point. At which point afterward we can just freely go through this door. So I'm gonna go downstairs quickly. This is like a basement sort of area. Down here is pretty freaky, okay? There's water on the floor, it's flooded. A kneeling figure with a wooden token on its back. Can't really tell who it is with a hood on its head. Yeah, so if I pull up this note over here, see that token there? It's the same token that's on this figure's back. Okay? So we'll need to get that thing out. A kneeling figure with some blood on its hood. Okay, nothing else to say about that. And, you know, so this over here, I initially thought that this was a praying altar, but it's not. The temple's divine incense burner, so it's an incense burner. Before we pray, Mom always lights 3 incense sticks. She tells the gods her name and birthplace, then launches into a spiritual drivel. She often lays her many problems and wishes upon them. Why does she not tell a real person? Instead, they fall upon an invisible god. Okay, so we can't do anything here just yet. Again, another thing that we'll come back to later on. This cell's empty. It smells like rotting plants. Charming. What kind of criminals do they lock up here? And why is there a prison block? Oh, sorry, like a jail cell block in the basement of your school? Another kneeling figure. Who are these supposed to be? Executed victims, it seems like. Okay, now this door is locked. Okay, but more importantly, next to this door is spirit money. There we go. Let's have a examine of this. Spirit money commonly seen at temples burned to sacrifice to the spirit gods for fortune and prosperity. And nothing else over here. Okay, we'll come back to this door a bit later on. Did you see that? I was moving a bit too quick there, so I apologize about that. But that there, if you managed to see that, because I was running too quickly because I'm an idiot. That there was the counselor, Mr. Chung. See that? I mean, I don't know if I actually saw it, but it did look like him. But yeah, there's another one over here. Cell's empty. Yep. Interesting. Okay, so for now, we'll head back upstairs. And before we go back to that place, I want to go upstairs first. Now this gate here will lead to the roof. Yeah, this goes up to the roof. Gate's locked. Roots are growing out of the seams. The door's completely blocked, so we can't go in there. This place here is pretty creepy. There's more roots. A pungent mossy smell permeates. So we can go through there. I'm going to go to the end of the hallway here. And go in there as well. Have a look at this. This is really cool. You can go all the way to the end of the thing here. I don't know why you would want to though, but yeah. All these lanterns are over here. I love this design for this level over here. Very, very well done. Okay, let's have a read of this. The media room. If we're lucky, we get to watch a movie as part of the lecture. It's also great for sneaking a nap. Okay, so let's go ahead and go inside. Okay. The board's all moldy now. The slogan reads, "Leave your death in the hands of others." Okay, that's also a very important thing to remember. With regards to a part of the story. I'll examine the grave in a minute, but the slogan reads, "Patriotism demands of us sustained sacrifice." No idea what that means, but more importantly, go over here to this grave. Okay. An unmarked grave embedded in the middle of the room. There shouldn't be anything buried underneath. Yeah, indeed. So, since there's nothing here, just go ahead and pick up these 3 incense sticks. There are 3 unlit incense sticks here. Take incense? Yes. Item received, incense. Let's have a look at this. The grave of Ting. Alright, he already... Is the legacy of the deceased always just a mere rock? Yep. Very interesting. The gravestone bears the name of Ting. And then some writings appeared on the board. When did all this writing appear? Snitcher. Is this about an informer? Okay, also important to the story. So yeah. That's Wei's Blackboard Snitcher. Yep. So yeah. And also there's some pretty freaky faces on the projector. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure we're going to be facing the Lantern Inspector. Yeah, there we go. There he is. Okay. Now when you get to about here-ish, this thing will start walking toward you. You'll hear Ray gasp, and this thing will start walking toward you. What I'm going to do, after it starts walking toward me, I'm going to like turn this way and face away from it, and then hold my breath. The key to getting this thing to passing this thing is just before it leans over, because it sort of leans over to smell you. So when it leans over, then you can start holding your breath. But I just want to see what happens when this thing kills you, because I've never seen what happens. So yeah. So if you face away and hold your breath, and don't hold your breath, then this thing will kill you. If you look at it and hold your breath, it'll kill you or whatever. So yeah, like that, and you're dead. So it grabs you basically, one hit and you die. And then we end up back here. Now I want to see if that lady has anything else to say, if she has like different lines to say. Now, the Lantern Inspector once roamed as a lingard, it now serves the underworld dutifully. You will remain unseen if your face is turned away. Yeah. It smells your fear. Do you remember to hold your breath? Anything else? Okay. So, I think she's sort of... Ooh, so I collect them all and scavenge them all from pain. Oh, wait, you already said this. And there is no way back. Okay. Yeah, she's already said stuff like that. Okay. The distressed cries of the weak. When you find yourself powerless, you choose to harm those who are frail. Okay, so we end up back here. I'll just cut to when I get back to that area, so I'll see you guys then. Alright, so I'm back up here now. We don't have to worry about the Lantern Inspector after this. Because, you know, we still start off with our stuff here. So I didn't even need to come back up here, but I still want to show you. Oops. I still want to show this room here. Oh, wait. This is the projection room. Wow, that's it. Okay, let's have a look at all these things. There are various films on this rack. They seem to be all tangled together. Nothing else. The film in the media room is being projected from here. Our military education class often play political propaganda. The instructor always has a million things to say about whatever happens in the film. Are there any other films I can play? I didn't want to do that. So we will have, we will find something else to put into this thing, which will help us also to solve a puzzle later on in this chapter. But again, we can't do it now. So we'll come back to this place. That's all I wanted to show you. That was up here, and we died pretty much over here. So we'll head back downstairs. I just love this mossy, greeny, abandoned look of all this stuff. Like the moss growing on the floor, on the walls, the roots, the vines sort of hanging in the windows. It's brilliant, brilliant level design. I love it. Okay, so let's go into here now. This was the puppet room. The glass beakers here are from our biology lab. They're each holding puppets inside. It's kind of freaky. Okay, so we'll go to this furnace now. Okay, and throw in the spirit money. Oh, otherworldly spirits, I offer the spirit money to ask for your protection. The fire went out. The furnace is suddenly gone cold. There's something in there. How can this be? It should have been reduced to ashes if it was inside. So this is the fan. Feathered fan. A fan made of feathers. It appeared in the furnace after burning spirit money. I don't know why it was still intact inside. Okay, let's get out. Now as you can see, these things are moving. Okay. Now I'm not going to show this death because it's not very amusing. And I'm sort of tempted to just let them kill me so I can see what that lady says, if she says anything else. You know, I'm just going to do it. So basically you need to get to about here and then hold your breath and walk across while holding your breath, because if you don't, these puppets will drag you up and kill you. So watch. And then you go, you did. So yeah. Anything else to say this time, lady? These human-like objects are filled with evil over time. Deal with them as with the lingard. So it tells you to hold your breath. Anything else to say? Okay. Right, let's carry on. Foul thoughts gather and accumulate until they one day, taking on a life of their own. I didn't read that properly. They begin to twist in a monstrous storm. Into a monstrous storm. That was really weird. I couldn't read the whole thing properly. That was weird. I wasn't even clicking anything and she was moving around. Anyway, to get to about here, hold breath and then walk. You should make it just fine. Don't worry about running out of breath. There we go. Okay, let's get out. Right, so now we have the fan. So... oh, wait, we need to go downstairs. Sorry, guys. We have to go now go downstairs. Because we now have the incense sticks. And when we put the incense sticks in that thing, this gate here will open, allowing us to grab that token. So drag and drop the incense sticks. I do as Mom does with incense in hand, ignoring the kind of prayers she'd prefer. I ask the gods only for a way to live as myself. There's that sound. Pick up the token. The prison gate is open. The wood token on the statue's back is loose. Okay, so first was a statue. Sorry, first it was a kneeling figure. Now it's a statue. Item received, token. That doesn't look like a statue. That looks more like just a human body. Although, sort of, there's like a stony sort of texture on there, so I could be wrong. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we now have the fan and the wooden token. Wooden token taken from the figure in the basement cell. So now we need to go to that that door at the end of this hallway here. Just gonna go ahead and save my game quickly. Yep. Okay. So, if you remember, they're each holding a specific thing, okay? And to sort of get this puzzle done, you need to drag these two things to the appropriate holder, okay? And to figure that out, just go here, and like I said, tongue fan, beard token. So, tongue fan, beard token. And there we go. A chill air drifts inward. So let's go through. And this is the outside area of the school. A copper statue of the president. It can be seen from almost anywhere in the school. Okay, let's head in here. Alright, so this here, I'm not sure what this place is. The windows are covered in protective talismans. But there's a phone over here. Now, there's an achievement you can get by picking this thing up and doing 110. Now, I think that's 110. And that'll give you an achievement. I think it's 110. But yeah, that'll give you an achievement. There's nothing important on the bookshelves. This cabinet looks familiar. There's a key inside. Item received, roof key. Very, very useful. Okay, we will come back to this a little bit later on. We need to use this phone for something. There should be a land inspector here as well. I can't examine anything. Here she gasp. There we go. So this one's got like a green lantern, which is pretty cool. So, and start holding your breath now. This way you won't run out of breath at all. Wait for it to pass you, and you're fine. No stress whatsoever, but they're really cool. Okay, we'll go out this way. The music room, there is a piano inside. It was probably last used during our freshman chorus competition. Okay, we can go inside. We can't really do anything right now. So, let's have a look at this. In the middle of the room hangs a birdcage. A puppet lies locked inside. It's got a hood on. It's got a hood on. I've never seen this style before. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, this is the puzzle I was talking about earlier. This is my second favorite puzzle of the entire game because it's got like a really cool tune that's involved with it. Okay. So as you can see, you can interact with this, but I'm not going to because we don't know the tune to play just yet. I don't know if you can solve it now. I have no idea, but I want to show you the legit way. We have music class scheduled every semester. It's mostly used as a testing center though. Testing for what exactly? Okay, there's a light switch over here. A hallway light switch. And just keep note of where that is. broadcasting room. There are some playback devices inside. Let's have a look inside. So right now there's nothing really to look for in here. A tree's grown through the wall. There are leaves all over the room. Moss grows on the door and windows. And there's faces also inside this thing, which looks pretty cool, you know. And I just love how this looks. It reminds me a bit of The Last of Us. How this is all like overgrown on the window and just grown through the wall. It's really creepy and I love it. On the table are some broadcasting equipment. The speakers are emitting a small staticky sound. You can almost hear whispering. So this should be used to switch tracks. Each tape usually has 4 tracks recorded on it. So we don't have the necessary thing right now. A large 8-track player. It's usually used for school broadcasts. The power's connected. Do I just need to stick an 8-track tape in it? Well, yeah. Okay. We don't have that yet. But we will come back here to figure out that puzzle as well. Okay, let's head out here. And this will lead us to... This is the atrium. Okay. So, if we go back this way, this will lead us to an outside area. So this is also another puzzle that we do. And this is like a little scene that happens, or that gets explained in the story, okay? A pair of mannequin hands. Is it a setup for the puppet play? The scene. Is it trying to remind me of something? Maybe. We don't know anything about this yet. A wooden puppet theater. I see it often when we visit the temple. There seems to be a couple of props on the theater. Come on, let's look up. No, we've already done that. Once again, we'll come back to that a little bit later on. What does it say? Okay. Now, the 8-track tape should be over here. There it is, right there. Seems like there's something stuck inside the tree. 8-track tape. 8-track tape found under the tree containing 4 tracks. This one is labeled prohibited. The contents are probably censored. Most likely. And nothing else over here. Okay. So now I'll go to the roof first before we do anything else. So like I said, this is the atrium. If we go through this door, watch. Door's been unlocked. And this leads us back inside here. Like I said, now we can come in and out of this room, this door as we please. So let's head up to the roof now. Gate goes up to the roof. Gate's locked. Not for long. See what I mean? Now we can get up there. Did you see that? That was Ray there was a version of Ray that ran this side. Okay. This part here is pretty gruesome. Alright, some really messed up shit. So, you know, just keep your eye on this part of the screen here. As I run to the right, okay? I won't say anything, just have a look. So, we just saw that version of Ray leap from the ledge over here. It's pretty fucked up. Pretty messed up. Bloodstained film. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Projector film found on the roof of the red house. Okay. Yeah, that was yeah, pretty disturbing. But, you know, it will make sense a bit later on. You know, as to why we're seeing that. Okay, nothing else to do in this place. So, we need to go this way. And we need to go into this place here. Alright, so... Ooh. I forgot that happens. The broadcasting room. There are some playback devices inside. It's too dark to see anything. So this part here is a little horror section. It's pretty cool. And remember how I told you to keep note of this light switch? So interact with it. Now this here is a bit random. Okay, this part here. You can flick this thing as many times as you like. It's random when this thing will turn on. You know, I've spent quite a few times just flicking this thing and it has never turned on. It turns on by chance. Well, that's just how it feels to me. So again... See what I mean? You can't leave this as well, so you just... So, there we go. It just turns on by itself. And the Lantern Spectre shows up, so... Keep your cool. Okay, and I think he disappears as well. I want to see. I think he just fades, yeah. That's pretty cool. The music, once again, is outstanding. This is the piano room, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, we will... since we're here, let's just do this puzzle quickly. Alright. Let's examine this and stick in the 8-track tape. And then it starts playing some tracks. Now, to find the tune that we need to actually listen to, it's this track over here, the 4th one. Kind of freak out just faded out there. That's really cool how it just fades out like that. And she was counting in Chinese there. But yeah, I thought it was gonna repeat the whole time, but yeah. Interesting. So then it just dies as well. So, let's go to the last track. So if you notice, this one is the only one that rewinds when the track finishes. See, so it's actually pretty cool how the rest, you know, didn't really do anything, but this one just keeps rewinding the whole time, meaning that this is the thing that you need, you know, for the puzzle. I really love this tune as well. It's quite beautiful, and later on in the game, this tune does actually play, like the actual song itself does actually play. It's in chapter 4 somewhere, and it's such a beautiful song. Okay, but we will now head out and go over to the piano room. Okay, so we need to play this tune on the piano. Okay. As you can hear, it is pretty loud outside here compared to how loud it is inside the room there. When you enter into this room, though, you won't hear it anymore. Okay, so you know, I'd say memorize this tune as well as you can. It's not really that hard. Actually, it's not hard at all to memorize this tune. You know, granted that you aren't tone deaf, but you'll listen. Okay, so you can hear clearly the changing in the notes. And there are 9 notes that are being played. So once you've got it in your head well enough, go into the room here. As you can hear, it stopped playing. Go into the room here and interact with the piano. Alright. So the only keys that you can press are these ones from here to here. The black keys don't do anything. And the only ones that make noise are these ones here with stains on them. Okay. Now the solution is... Okay, so it's... Okay, that's what it is. Okay. And you don't have to worry about the exact tempo of the thing. It's just like you need to just make sure that those notes ring out clearly enough, okay? There we go. A metal sound comes from somewhere in the room. Okay. You know, I remember when I played this game a few years ago, I would just like sort of stay here for a little bit. And just play around with these notes here. Because, you know, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes that you can play. But it's just, it's really cool how diverse you can make it sound. You know? It's brilliant. Okay, so we have now solved this puzzle. Watch what happens when you exit out this puzzle. That was awesome. I don't know about you, but that was awesome. Okay. I don't know why I clicked on that again. But yeah. Anyway, let's pick up this. This cage is opened. The cage door is open. Inside is a puppet. Take it out? Yes. That's pretty gruesome. Hooded puppet. A detached, twisted hand. Fingerprints completely rubbed off. That is freaky. It's mangled and everything. Look at that. Fingers don't bend that way. Okay. I love how she's not going to say anything about what just, you know, popped up randomly. Nope, nothing? Okay. Alright. So now that that's sorted, let's carry on this way. There's a bunch of eyes over here now as well. Okay. So, of course, Land Inspector, same as usual. I think I actually cut it quite close there a little bit. But it's fine. So we need to go to the media room now. Okay, no, the media room is someplace else. There's still a whole bunch of like paper spirit money just floating around here. Just scattered all over the place. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, the media room was up here. There's a very freaky sound. Listen to that. Some scary shit. It sounds like gears moving like very slowly, like the cogs turning slowly like a giant clock tower. Okay, so if you remember, we went inside that media room where we found Way's grave and the incense sticks. This is what was projecting on the screen. So we need to take this out. Are there any other films I can play? So, just go over here, drag and drop this bloody reel. I wonder what's contained in this film. Here we go. So. Now, we can go into the room and see what's being projected now instead of those faces. 025 1 2 1 goes blank. 025 1 2 1. Okay, so 025121. Now that is a phone number that we need to use in the phone that is back near where we were previously in this area. Okay, let's go in here. Oh wait, sorry, wrong place. My bad. You know, this whole thing just kind of loops around. And as you can hear, the piano stopped playing as well. That time when the land inspector is going to reappear here. Good. Okay. So, now that we know the phone number to use. Okay. 0 2 No. 2, 5, 1, 2, 1. There we go. Miss Fang, your country appreciates your assistance. What's left is only the dial tone. Now check this out. So that monster that chased us in chapter 1 is back. There it is. Yeah, and that's that. There's really nothing else to that part except that. Okay, and when we go back outside, watch what we find. Look at this. Military police puppet. So we have the hooded puppet. Puppet found in the Puppet found in the music room with a hood on its head. Its attire is strangely familiar. This attire is... I'm pretty sure this is a school uniform. Okay, very important to remember that. Puppet picked up in the hallway dressed as a military policeman. It's holding a pistol in hand. Cool. This is back to the outside area. And we now need to go back. So as you can see, we're just doing gigantic loops in this place now. So we don't have to... No, we don't have to go out here. We need to go back to where we found that 8-track tape. Which will be over here. No. Cool. So, let's go ahead and examine this. Now, this, like I said, this part here is pretty symbolic to the story. There's a hanging figure over here. So, drag the puppet to... So, not this one. This doesn't do anything, okay? It is this one. Because, as you can see, this puppet over here has a gun in his right hand. So it goes to the right, so it shoots to the left. Drag and drop. So, this police puppet here shoots this thing, and then the bullet ends up in here as well. So it kills basically 2 birds with 1 stone. There's a key over here. A key fell out of the puppet's body. Basement key. Okay. A visceral scene. Is what's coming out blood? Why am I being shown this violent scene? Its head has been destroyed. I didn't think a real bullet would come out of that gun. There's even the smell of gunpowder. Sweet as. So that's done. Now we can get out of here and go back to the basement. Because you remember, because if you remember, there was that that metal door that was locked. Really long hallway. Right here. See, it's locked. So just drag and drop the key and door's been unlocked. Easy as that. Okay. Now this part here is pretty quiet. So I'm just gonna let this play out and you'll see what happens. Wei, thanks for doing this for me. Not at all. I'm always willing to help if you ask. Though I'm sorry to have to drag you all the way here to my classroom. It's okay, my classroom has individual studies now. It'd be a bother if we were them. You're sure nobody else knows about these meetings, right? Of course, miss. Absolutely not. One thing though, this book list is quite sensitive in material. Please be careful with it. Yes, thanks for the reminder. I know reading these books could be trouble. But it should be our freedom to pursue knowledge, right? Yeah, I'm with you on that. In fact, I think Miss Yin also said something like that before. I think you just like her. You're both courageous and talented. You think we're alike? I can't compare to her anyways. She's the principal's daughter, and they're known to be a family of successful scholars. It's okay, I believe she thinks highly of you. I remember she gave your work a nice compliment once. She said, "Strengthen thy wings, the sky's the limit." Remember? Miss Yin said this quote, and we found this quote in chapter 1. Okay? And remember, Ray didn't say anything to remark that comment. She really said something like that? Because it was regards, because the one who said it was Miss Yin. There we go, see? Hey, let me ask you a question. I see Miss Yin and Mr. Chang chat a lot. Do you maybe know what kind of relationship they have? Very, very interesting. Anyway. Pick up this note here. Paper bag left behind by Wei. Book club reading list. I've been weak, but you once told me the pen is mightier than the gun. I'm pretty sure the saying goes, the pen is mightier than the sword. But oh well. I just got a huge chill up my back and goosebumps all over my body. Every single hair on my body standing on end. It is crazy. Listen to this music. It is spectacular. Oh, I love it so much. It's actually making me want to cry a little bit because it's reminding me of so many things. Oh yeah, and we have all the notes for this chapter as well. So 1, 2... no! 1, 2... and... do I not have anything? Did I miss one? I really hope I didn't miss one. Okay. So, let's go out this way. I really hope I didn't miss a note. Yeah, and this is as fast as she can go, by the way. There's nothing over to the side, so don't worry to go all the way there. We'll just go through here. As you can see, a whole bunch of mirrors over here. Have a look there, the hooded figure. Miss Yin. Also notice that it's different from how she looks as well. This is very important, okay? What are you doing over here? As a teacher, I always show concern for students who are a little rebellious. Remember what you did. What? Have you forgotten? Or do you not want to remember? Remember from chapter 1? This quote was in the mirror. You. Just a harmless piece of paper, right? Instead, I had to die. He had to die. And many other students had to die. So, this is Miss Yin. This person here, even though it's sort of her reflection, this is Mr. Chang. Okay, and this is important to remember why I'm saying this now. Okay? And watch Ray's shadow over here. This whole symbolism here is fucking amazing how this is, like, portrayed. Was it you? You just keep causing me trouble. You're driving me crazy. Sometimes when you trip up, you're never able to get back up again. How dare you? This is all because of you. You ruined everything. If you had a problem, why couldn't you have come talk to me instead? Shut up. If you were gone, none of this would have happened. And watch. All the mirrors are broken now. If you weren't here, all will be well. So it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that scene. Very symbolic, very well thought out how they did everything. If it still doesn't make any sense, at the end of the game, I'll try my best to explain it. You know, if I remember, that is. Okay, so let's walk to the darkness over here. I think I missed the note as well. This music is brilliant, my dude. Justice Cheng Huang. Mom likes to bring all her worries and concerns to you. Something I think is fruitless. But sometimes there's no one else to look to for help. My hands together in silent prayer, here are my questions. I, Fang Shin, invoke your guidance. Ask about love. Doesn't matter which you ask about, you need to ask about them all in any case. So let's just go top to bottom. Will I be able to live a simple life with loved ones and family? Yin Po, the crying answer. This is a disagreement. Do not seek what cannot be. This was just a humble request. You can be so cruel. Then I also ask about prospects. Will I be able to live life by my choices and follow my heart down my own path? Yang Po, the laughing answer. I think this means maybe. So I can only face reality obediently and wait until God knows when. Do I have any other choice? I also ask about family. Will my parents who quarrel and fight have a second chance together? Yang Po, the laughing answer. You cannot cry over spilt milk, is that so? But that was my family, my mom, and that person. We used to smile and laugh together. Do I ask for too much? Is life just a never-ending bitterness? Or is it all just me? Divine answer, which means yes. So, it is because of me. Youth is hardly ever given a choice, pushed through the grind until the innocence fades away. That is so true. I've become a wooden horse on the carousel of life, a jumbled mess of lifeless emotion. Infused with frantic energy, I spin ever faster. Okay. So, that was the end of chapter 2. We're now coming up to the start of chapter 3 now. As you can see here. Now, before we carry on, before I leave this video off, I want to just see something. 1, 2. How did I miss... Fuck's sake. How the hell did I miss a note? Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so the last note isn't actually inside of this notebook. We picked it up. It was the book club reading list, or rather the gun that Ray used to shoot Mizian with at the end of the previous chapter. Okay, so we did actually get all of them. But this is the start of chapter 3, guys. So chapter 2 is probably the one that has the most horror. It's got the best atmosphere, I find. Although I still think the Lingard are more difficult to deal with than the Lantern Spectres. But that's just me. Maybe some other people will disagree with me. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I'll leave it here, and we'll pick up next time where we go through chapter 3.